Amazon's approach with Rings of Power seems to be, if you're going through Hell or Mordor, just keep going. Season 3 is coming in November with a time jump and what feels like a soft reset. Unlike Season 2, with Season 3 they've had more time in the writer's room to address valid writing concerns. With the high-profile reveal of Jamie Campbell Bower as Galadriel's missing husband Celeborn, the showrunners seem to be tackling one of the most divisive creative decisions straight on, Galadriel and Halbrand, aka Sauron. I don't think the showrunners ever expected Haladriel to become the show's biggest online fandom. If it had been the plan all along, why keep Charlie Vickers and Morfydd Clark apart for almost all of Season 2? I suspect Amazon thought the series itself would be the phenomenon, with Halbrand's relationship with Galadriel simply a vehicle for what they hoped would become one of TV's great villain reveals. But sometimes two actors just operate on the same frequency. The camera loves them together, and you add the fact they're playing two immortal, powerful beings. For some viewers, that forbidden dynamic was more compelling than anything else the show was trying to do. Meanwhile, a section of the Tolkien fandom was collectively fainting. Galadriel is a married elf, after all. This is one of the clearest cultural fault lines in modern fantasy. On one side are Tolkien fans who value lore, consistency, and the moral framework of Middle-earth. On the other is a romantasy audience drawn to forbidden relationships, morally grey characters, and emotional intensity. Season 3 feels like Amazon's attempt to bridge that divide. The show hopefully won't try to convince us that Galadriel's been searching for Celeborn all this time, because that's not what we've watched. She's grieved her brother, obsessed over Sauron, dragged him back to Middle-earth to forge weapons of mass control, and then kept quiet about it until the truth was dragged out of her. The writers keep talking about her making mistakes, but the problem is they wrote her this way. Where do I think Season 3 will go? Everyone who loved the Haladriel dynamic knew it was doomed by Tolkien's lore. They never expected them to be a series endgame. From what we've heard from last week's Comic-Con, they seem to be giving Haladriel some kind of emotional reckoning, an acknowledgement of the tragic weight of that relationship. From both a storytelling and business perspective, it would make little sense to pretend the show's most talked about dynamic never happened. At the same time, if Amazon is course-correcting and trying to get back to the lore, bringing in the other Mr. Galadriel fits that strategy. They've only mentioned him once in the show, but they're treating his arrival as a major event because it supplies a canonical counterweight to the Haladriel energy. Will Season 3 be a success? Promotion alone probably isn't going to reverse entrenched perceptions. The writing and the execution will matter more. The show has a core audience that enjoys it, and big visual spectacle plus some familiar names can pull in casual viewers. But the polarized base makes it very difficult to predict a redemption arc. The Balrog storyline seems to be generating genuine excitement online and could help claw back lapsed viewers. Also, it's sad but good news that they've benched the Harfoots, as per the new Empire magazine article. As fab as Markella and Meghan are as actresses, they can do their wandering off screen and will hopefully rejoin us down the road. On the other hand, I think the show will continue to struggle with the timeline compression and gimmicky storytelling like how Gandalf got his hat. And we will, this is no joke, have an orc, according to the recent Empire article, have an orc who composes poetry. I don't know why the showrunners are so obsessed with the nuances of orcs. I think they have a lot of ideas as writers, and someone perhaps need to step in sometime and tell them to focus. How do I feel about Rings of Power, really? If I sound a bit ambivalent about Rings, the truth is I wouldn't recommend it to anyone in my life. I'd have to admit it was a bit uneven. I love fantasy because I love heightened storytelling, and I love acting and actors, and if I love a cast, I can overlook a lot. I want the same as everyone else who still cares about this project, a Season 3 that's simply better written and better received. I hope they improve the writing while balancing Tolkien's mythology with the character dynamics that unexpectedly caught fire. And that's all for now. I'll be back when they release a full trailer. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you anon.